right, artists, you have the warp on your loom. The loom is the machine we weave on. The warp is attached to the loom, and the weft is what we will weave through the warp. So when you start, you're going to want to create a sort of border, stripe, or pattern of one piece of yarn, one solid piece, before you start getting into playing with some patterns and other techniques. So you'll want your pencil and your yarn, whatever color is inspiring you right now. And with your pencil, you are going to weave the pencil under, over to create bridges and tunnels, right? So the yarn is a bridge over top of the pencil, and the yarn is tunneling underneath the pencil. And it should be in every other AB pattern, right? And we're just going to bring our yarn through and pull until we have about 2 or 3 fingers worth of yarn at the end, and you have a long tail on the other side, okay? And then I'm going to take the pencil out, and I'm going to weave it through the opposite pattern. So the tunnels are now bridges, and the bridges are now tunnels. And I'm going to take the long end of my yarn that's on the left here, and I'm going to weave it through to the right. Now, as I'm doing this, I am pushing the yarn down, the weft yarn down, because I want to cover up the warp strings. I also want to make sure when I pull across that this loop does not pull and start to change the shape of my whole weaving. I want to keep a nice rectangle pattern. Now later as an artist, you may decide that visually you want it to come in. I will warn you that once it goes in, it is very hard, if not impossible, to get it to come back out again. It takes a lot of fussing, let's say. So I'm just going to keep going, alternating the tunnels and bridges in my AB pattern, under, over, and the pencil helps me just so that I don't accidentally go under 2 at a time or over 2 at a time, and it makes it easier to get the yarn through because it's lifted up. So I still like to use both hands because I like to help the yarn go through. And anything will work for this. If you don't have a pencil, you can use a chopstick, you could use a marker. You just want something that's straight and smooth so that it doesn't catch on the yarn when you pull it through, okay? So now this looks like it's going to be the last time I'm going to go through with this piece of yarn because I'm now at 2 fingers of yarn on the edge. And this is the point where I could continue with solid horizontal stripes like this. So I could choose another color and come in and continue weaving. Or I could transition and explore some vertical stripes and some stair-step shapes. So check out the other tutorials if you're interested in doing some of these other designs. Happy weaving!